Refin Review.
We are back here in our Refin Review this week. Daniel, man, I want to get your thoughts and the panel's thoughts as well, but I'm going to send it to you first, is non-legendary referees doing seminars.
Yeah, so I know there's a lot of referees that go out there and do different seminars and whatnot, and there's nothing wrong with helping, guiding, teaching what you know. I mean, there's even ref groups that some of us are a part of where we can communicate and help each other out. But I always seemed when I see referees, because I've been asked to do seminars before, and I'm like, no, I'll just come and help. Charging people to do things, and especially if you haven't, if you're not legendary, like you're not the Mike Chiodas, you're not the Jimmy Cordeas, the Brian Hebners, the Earl Hebners, things like that. It seems like it's one of those questionable things. Like, why are we paying to have you teach me how to do stuff? I got asked. I've done 3 of these in Denver, Colorado. There was a Rocky Mountain Pro did a TV clinic seminar of learning the aspects of TV to help guide you. And you had D'Lo Brown, Josh Matthews, Sin Bodie, and I believe Madison Rain, and myself. And I think Brian Hebner was originally going to be one of those refs, but he couldn't do it, so I was picked to come in and help it. But what I liked about that is it was you addressed everything. You had somebody for talent relations, you had someone for production, you had somebody for the referee side, you had somebody for the female side, the wrestling side, all of that. Everything was covered in this one whole seminar, and that's where the learning comes in. I just think that as referees, you need to share your knowledge about, in my opinion, until you get to that level, for free. Just share it. Share what you know to others. Why hold on to stuff? We're all here to help each other out. It's the brotherhood. And I know I wouldn't be where I was today without Brian, Jimmy, Kyoto, Rudy Charles,
Oh,
Jason Ayers,
say it, Earl.
Earl. All of these guys,
waiting for it.
all of these guys, I was saving it for last. The
Oh,
best.
I know you were.
All of these guys giving me knowledge over time and helping me and guiding me and directing me, and I forgot a little Nate too, guiding and directing me of little things over time. And did I ask for it? Some I did. Some they just told me. But one thing's clear. Not it was advice that was worth money, but they didn't charge me because they wanted to help they wanted to help the business and the brotherhood, and they didn't have to do that, but they did, and that's the passing on I want to do. So that's just my thoughts on it, guys. Your thoughts?
So I'll jump in real quick, Jimmy, and I'll let
Yeah.
you finish her off.
Sure.
I just feel like if you're going to promote a seminar and you have, to me, to qualify to be able to train people or work with people, in my opinion, and this may be refuted and rebutted, but you got to work a mania. You got to work a mania. You got to work at least. You can't use AEW because they haven't been in the business long enough, in my opinion. Even a TNA, you could say I was there for 10 years. Not me, I'm personally, I'm in generalization. And 10 years, and you've worked 4 Bound for Glories, whatever it may be. You have to have some sort of substantial proof of being on the big stage, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if I'm on the outside looking in, and I'm like, and there's a seminar in my area, and I'm trying to get in the business, and I see, and I'm making up a name, I don't know, a John Jett that worked for PCW for 18 years. All right, well, who gives a crap? What does he know?
Right.
How am I going to guarantee myself to learn something?
Yeah.
I'd rather know, oh, shoot, Mike Chioda is going to be in Richmond, and he's going to be teaching me how to do what I want to do. Well, he's been to 4 WrestleManias. He's done this. He's done that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or Jimmy Corderas. Well, freak, he did The Undertaker versus Edge. Holy crap. That's
but the thing that I'm getting at too, and sorry to cut you off there, is that even me, like working as many Bound for Glories as I had and Slammiversaries and some of the top talent I had, I'm not going to charge. If somebody wants to bring me in for a seminar, okay, don't charge it. I'll talk to these referees for free at your promotion. Like I want to help grow. You can, as long the promoter can pay to bring me in or whatever it may be, or if I'm already there because you're bringing me into work and you want to do something, okay, let's do it. But no, don't charge your people that. I mean, get a sponsor to pay for it. Pay for your
and Daniel,
whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And no disrespect to you, and I know I'm not meaning to. You're
Yeah.
you're exactly dead on. If Daniel Spencer came to my town, no disrespect, that's not the same thing as a Mike Chioda,
100%. It's not the same thing. I agree with that.
a Jimmy Corderas, or
No.
even a Brian Hebner. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Right.
Go
Well,
ahead, Jimmy.
No. I'm trying to think of this from both angles, and I completely agree with what you guys are saying. But what we're talking about now is getting a seminar from top level guys, and then a seminar from guys who have been around a long time and know how, for example, the indies work.
Mhm.
And if that's your goal at first to get your foot in the door, I can understand it. That
But
I
being
can
but,
understand.
but
But
being
if
charged,
if it's a minimal charge, I don't know.
But
That's
I've
the
been
thing.
I've been offered. See, I've been offered to come. I'm not going to say with the company or whatever. Offered to do something in a couple weeks in a certain area, and I literally said I would love to help the referees out. If the promoter wants to bring
Mhm.
me in, absolutely. They were like, "Well, what would you want to charge?" I said, "For who?" They said, "For the people, no, just the promoter." I said, "The promoter's paying me to come in and do it, absolutely, but I don't want you to charge any of those students
Well,
anything because it's not." I'm willing to do this. It's all about my time, is what they're getting me there or whatever. It has
Mhm.
nothing to do with me trying to make money off of these people because I want
Right.
to share the knowledge. I would share it with them anyways if we had a personal conversation. So
Mhm.
it just allows me to do it in front of a group. So, but again, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, a different story. Then if I'm not
Right.
working and I'm a legendary referee, which hopefully I will be, then that's the goal. Then that makes sense. Then I can do these seminars and charge something.
No, right.
Mike Chioda doing these seminars needs to be doing these seminars, and you
Right.
need to be paying to go see him do these seminars because he's going to teach you things that you can't learn anywhere else.
Right.
You know?
so prime
It-
example,
Mhm.
real quick, Jimmy.
Yeah.
No, go.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's a group called WCCW. It's called
Mhm.
West Coast Championship Wrestling.
Right.
All right. Very good, big time indie type thing. D'Lo was actually out there and asked me would I fly in a day ahead and do a referee seminar. I said sure, and he said, "What do you want to charge each guy?" And I said, "I don't want to charge each guy nothing." I said, "I want the promoter, who I knew, who actually shafted me at the fucking end of it anyway. I still want to take his ass out,
Mhm.
not for that particular thing, but for overall work I did for him. But anyway, he gave me just a straight up fee,
Yep.
and I had it was good money just for a couple hours, and I was able to spend a couple hours with these folks, and really some of them, actually one of them I met that we all know who's God's gift to Green Earth as a referee, and I think her name at that point in time was Girl Hebner. Anyway, that would be yours and mine truly favorite ref, Aubrey Edwards. Met her, and anyway, long story short, I agree with what Daniel's saying. If you're a Daniel Spencer at this point in his career, yes, let the promoter pay you. Let the boys come in, train them, work with them, give them that knowledge. Jimmy, what do you think?
No, I don't disagree with that. But it depends on what your goals are. If your goals are to get to that elite level, then you have to talk to elite level guys who have done it.
Exactly.
Bottom line.
Exactly.
Bottom line. But I mean, like there are guys who have somewhat of an idea. They have talked to people maybe and heard this is the way it's done. It's different than actual experience.
No
That's
doubt.
why when you go to a wrestling school, you can't go to Joe's Wrestling Academy down on the corner when you can go to, you know, the pick one, anyone. Go to Al's school, Al
Right.
Snow. There's a jump. Like
Right.
you got guys like Ken Anderson up in the Midwest. You got guys like I'll put it out there, QT Marshall, his school down in Atlanta that he's partnering with. QT knows it. Those guys know their stuff.
Yep.
They've been
By
on
the way, you
television.
get three
They've been
people there.
there.
You get the Billy Gunn, you get the QT Marshall, and you get the Cody coming in every so often. So yeah.
Right.
Well,
Right.
it's like you're saying, Jimmy. Jimmy, you want to be trained by Bubba and Devon, or you want to be trained by Jesse Sorensen, who's out in Florida? No disrespect to Jesse Sorensen,
Hmm.
but what the hell
Let,
has he
let me
done?
think about that one for a second.
Right.
Hmm.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Hmm.
you want Mike Chioda, or you want John Jett to train you right here locally here in Virginia. Screw that. I'm not even going to that.
I remember John Jett used to play for
Wait
the
a minute,
Raiders.
John Jett and the Black Stripes?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, I can't help myself.
Real quick, I want to touch on this before we get out of here. On a positive note, yes, I'm bringing it up this week.
Whoa, no,
Whoa.
I got to do something before you go positive.
Go.
Oh,
Jimmy's got to get it in.
Oh, man.
Go,
because I had, and I'm sorry, I'm going to keep our guests waiting just a little bit longer for this, but I
put some steak in there. He's fine. I got steak and some wine.
Okay.
Actually, he doesn't like wine. He'll drink anything anyway.
Well, I'm going to do a little whining right now, as a matter of fact. I talked to our good friends at Busted Open this week on Monday after Sunday's Sunday version of Dynamite, or was it called Dynasty? I forgot. Maybe they spelt it wrong. I have no idea.
No, it's called.
Right. Okay. Among the many discretionary instances with the referees, the ROH championship match with Bandito versus Jericho the ending was abysmal. I'm sorry. Which is surprising because I love Chris. I think Chris is great.
Will you elaborate?
Okay. So there's a distraction on the outside, which Aubrey runs down to take care of. Bryce Edwards is the referee for the match.
Which, if he started the match, we already knew he was going to get ref bumped.
That's what I thought, but there wasn't really one. But we figured out why afterwards. Anyway, so while she's taking care of business on the outside, she has everything handled. There's no more distraction coming from the outside, but Bryce takes it upon himself to continue sticking his head through the ropes and watching what's going on out there as opposed to watching what's going on in the ring with Chris and Bandito. Chris goes and gets that bat that he's hidden behind the corner stairs, hits Bandito.
Which I will say this before. It might have been a good idea because the spot might not have happened yet. He might have been told to stay there and not turn around because they hadn't done the bat spot yet. So I will give kudos to him not turning around yet.
Okay. Now we're fishing. But anyways, it did take a few seconds for Chris to get the bat out. It did take him a few seconds, but at the same time, he hits him with the bat. He puts it back, which also took a few seconds. Bryce turns around, counts the 3. Next thing you know, Aubrey is speaking to Bandito's mom and sister at ringside. There you go. Daniel has the evidence right there. And the sister and mom stooge it off. So what do? Because they have so much authority, mom and sis, they make the match continue.
Oh, no.
Yes. So the match continues, and that's where you have the finish, and Bandito wins and becomes a new ROH champion.
That must have been where I fell asleep. Jimmy, I'm sorry.
Since when does anybody in the audience have authority over any decision being made in a match? So now I can go to the announce team. I can go to security sitting ringside. I can go to the bell ringer. I can go to people in the audience. I can go to the concession stands and say, hey, did they hit him with a bat? And while you're at it, hand me a little bit of popcorn. I'm a little hungry right now. I mean, it is so ridiculous that something like this goes on. And I can't believe that this slid by amongst other things. And I won't even get into the main event fiasco. That thing was so overbooked at the end. The ring looked like the donation bin at a library by the end of it. It was ridiculous. And please, someone stop this Death Riders story as soon as possible.
Jimmy, you okay?
I'm better now. Thank you.
All right. Quickly, I am going to get into this real quick. Not anything on that. Believe me, we could have another whole podcast about this pay-per-view, that we witnessed. Didn't.
No, we don't
fall asleep. Well, you're right. We'd explode. Hey, but I do want to I want to end on a positive note real quick before we bring our guest in, Thirsty or whatever y'all want to call him. Anyway, Dan Danilo, brother, I am seeing strides with you. He did a marvelous job this past Monday on Monday Night Raw. His false finishes were fantastic. He's out of view. He's out of sight. He does a great job of giving cues. Rod Zapata, you might want to step that game up, big boy.
Yeah, he's got competition on Raw.
Yes, this kid's getting there, and apparently he's listening. And if you are, I hope you are, because I'm putting you over, and I don't put people over. You know that shit.
This is,
So anyway.
I believe this is the Jimmy. Correct me if I'm wrong. At least third time in the last couple months we put him over for something he's done.
I think so,
Um,
which
yeah.
proves that he's listening to this show.
And he's actually improving by listening. So cahoots to you, Mr. Danilo. I think that's how I say your name. If I
Yep,
did it
you said it
wrong.
right.
Okay, cool.